Welcome back. This is Ivan the Mayor here again. It's about 5 o'clock, about 5, I don't know, 5:15, 5:20 in the evening. So for this video, I decided to make a video. I decided to make that self-publishing and traditional publishing video for this video. And yeah, to all you guys who've been following my series, you know that I kicked off the series with my self-publishing and traditional publishing video about 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago, 2 years, to about 2 years ago almost. I kicked off my series. I talked about self-publishing, traditional publishing. That was an interesting video. Now, because I don't have my stepbrother's laptop, I just wrote a few notes. All I did was I wrote the notes of the top five, the top four big publishing houses, obviously, and that's all I. That's the only notes I took. So I won't have my laptop, my stepbrother's laptop. But I took a few notes. The only notes I took were like the names of the top five companies. I forget the names of the top 4 or 5 companies for for the traditional publishing houses, obviously. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna babble on for 30 minutes, talk about other stuff, and then for a good like I don't know hour, I'll talk about self-publishing and traditional publishing. Why? I'll talk about the process of traditional publishing, and I'm gonna end it off with why self-publishing is better than traditional publishing. This is pretty much a remaster of my very first video of my miscellaneous series. I thought it would be cool for me to make a more in-depth video because my last video I made was only like 35 minutes, whatever it is. This video is going to be a good hour and a half video. I'm going to delve in depth. I'm going to talk about the process of traditional publishing because there's not that much to talk about for self-publishing. Self-publishing, you don't have to go through an agent. All you have to do is just get your book formatted, design your cover, or unless you're using the template, obviously, you design your cover, you get through proofread, you format your book, and you release your book on Amazon. That's all you have to do for self-publishing. You have to advertise it. Whereas traditional publishing, you have to first find an agent. You have to finish your manuscript first, obviously. Finish your manuscript first, and you have to find an agent, which can take a long time. And after you find an agent, your agent has to try and get you a book publishing deal with a book publishing house. And I'll talk about this later on, but every just like in Hollywood, when I talk about the Hollywood actors, every Hollywood actor's dream is to be signed by the big five like Disney, Warner Bros, Paramount, Universal, you know what I'm saying, Lionsgate, Sony, Universal. Their goal is to be signed by all those big companies. All the aspiring authors around the world who want to take the traditional publishing route, which I do not recommend. Their goal is obviously to be signed by one of the big 4 or big 5 publishing companies, publishing houses, right? So you have the big 4 publishing houses, and then you have the bigger indie publishing houses, and you have a smaller publishing houses, obviously. But every aspiring author's goal is to be signed by one of the big 4 publishing houses, obviously. If you traditionally publish, obviously, that's every author's goal. As being signed by there gives you more credibility for your work, obviously, right? But I told you the chance of you getting signed by the big 4 companies is not high. Just like there's a 1% chance of the Hollywood actors. I'm making up numbers here. Just like there's a 1% chance of the Hollywood actors getting signed by the big 5, the B-list actors. There's a 1% chance of an author, of an aspiring author, to get signed by one of the big 4 publishing houses. As the publishing houses receive a shitload of manuscripts, they get a shitload of what? They receive a shitload of submissions from the agents, and only a good, I don't know, every year probably only a good, like, I don't know, 10, 15 people make it through. And so the chances of making through isn't high. Your chances of making even into the bigger indies is even pretty slim. It's not easy traditional publishing. And again, this all takes time. Don't forget it, because you not only have to try and get an agent, which is difficult. For you to get an agent can take you anywhere from 5 months to even a year or 2 years for you to even get an agent. So in all that time, you could have easily self-published your book. And then once you find an agent, once you sign with an agent, the agent has to get you work, has to get you your book, has to get you a book publishing signing deal, obviously, has to get you a signing book publishing deal. Obviously, don't forget your agent takes 50% of whatever you make, and when you traditionally publish, the publishing houses only give you 5 to 6, 7, 10 to like 50% of the royalties max. If your book is a huge hit and you're a big name, they'll give you at the high end 15%. Whereas if you're more of like an unknown author, they're gonna give you like probably 5% of the royalties, 6% of the royalties. Who's just being published. Hence why I'm gonna talk about. I'm pretty much gonna reiterate what I said in my last video. I'm gonna talk about the process of traditional publishing, and I'm gonna tell you the process of self-publishing because there's not that much talk about self-publishing. I'm gonna tell you why self-publishing is better than traditional publishing. In self-publishing, you keep full control of your novel. You keep full financial control. You're the boss. It's your own book. Obviously, you maintain all your rights for your novel, obviously. Whereas traditional publishing, you lose control of your novel, and the publishing houses now own you. They want you to write a 3-book series, you have to write a 3-book series, obviously. And you only get, even if your book is a big hit, imagine the amount of money you would have made if you self-published. You would have made way more money. J.K. Rowling, I'll talk about this later on. J.K. Rowling is rich, but she only made 50% of the pie, whereas the publishing houses took 85% of the pie. Imagine how she self-published. She would have been a multi-billionaire. But to be fair, back in the late 90s, there was no internet back then. There was no Amazon or Lulu back then. So I can understand. So back then she had no choice but to traditionally publish. But imagine how J.K. Rowling self-published, she would be much richer. Imagine how J.K. Rowling self-published, she'd be much richer. She'd be worth instead of she'd be worth billions of dollars. She'd be worth multi-billions of dollars. I guarantee you all the authors, I guarantee you a lot of the traditional publishing authors who traditionally publish a book, I guarantee you even some of them are like, man, I wish I just self-published my book. I would have maintained total control over my novel, and I would have made way more money than if I traditionally published. And I'm the boss of my own work. Because if I traditionally publish, if the publishing houses want to change your characters, change your plot, do a total revision of your book, they want to do a total revision of your book, right? They have every right to do that. They want to. If the editors want to change your characters, change your plot, they have every right to do that because you sold your rights to them. They now own you. They own your book. Whereas in other words, if you traditionally publish, you're pretty much a puppet. You're just what? You're just their puppet pretty much. They tell you to write a 3-book series. They edit your book for you. They design your cover for you, and in return, they just give you a check. So if you traditionally publish, you're pretty much a puppet, pretty much. Whereas if you self-publish, it's like your own business. You're the boss. You're the boss of your own book, man. Hence why I'm a fan of what? Of self-publishing, obviously. Right? Before I delve deep into what? The self-publishing and traditional publishing topic, you have to bear with me because I wrote very little notes. I can't use my brother's laptop because the folks are upstairs and they're going to get mad at me if I take the laptop. So I'm going to babble on for like a good, 22 minutes. And then in my next part, I'm going to start talking about traditional publishing and why self-publishing is better than traditional publishing. I'm also going to talk about what the life that I'm going to pretty much say, I'm going to show you the difference, the difference between self-publishing and traditional publishing. Had I sold out. In other words, had I sold out, even if the Step Families gave me 15% and I made like, I don't know, 1.5 billion, that's nothing compared to how much money I would make if I self-published work. Compare 9.5 billion to 1.5 billion. So even if the Step Families gave me 15% of the royalties and I made 1.5 billion, they would take 85% of the pie. Me and my wife would be loaded, but me and my wife would be trash, sharing with the world forever. Yeah, you'll see me and my wife on a David Letterman show, or David Letterman retired. See us on a Jimmy Fallon show, Jimmy Kimmel show, whatever it is. You see me doing seminars. You see me doing all these interviews on the news. Yeah, they were both slaves. We're not king, queen. The Step Families are king and queen. They rule over us. They have control over our finances. And hence, me and my wife, even though we're rich, would be living a miserable life as we'd be sharing with the world forever for the rest of our lives. My wife would be trash. She won't see me. Compare that with self-publishing, where I keep total control of my novel. I get total freedom. I have financial control of my novel. My wife is fresh. She can see me. I get to start Skype Source. And me and my wife get to make our billions of our movies. Even if the Step Families allow me and my wife to do a big budget movie, and they pay us like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 million each and gave us like 10% of the royalties. and we made 200 million or something like that. Compare 200 million to $4 billion that we would make if we started SkySource. Obviously, and because I have the keys, I don't need to sell to them. Hence why I'm not going to sell. Obviously, because I have the keys. Even though the keys are fucking annoying, like in a way, ever since I found I had the keys, I've never been the same. I've been every day. I always trip. You guys know I have the keys. My trips are very bad. When I go outside, I have anxiety. My wife knows about how bad my anxiety is. I'm not used to having these keys, and these keys are like a blessing and a curse. They're a blessing in the sense that I can make easy money, obviously, but they're a curse in the sense that everyone can read my mind. And since it takes getting used to being around, being in public, and having everyone read your mind. But I had no choice because the doors are all locked on me, and so I had no choice but to come here with the keys, obviously. But having the keys takes getting used to, because having everyone read your mind takes getting used to, man. And hence why I have anxiety, and hence why I trip. I trip about everything. I trip about everything because of these keys, man. You guys already know I have the keys. You know how bad. You know you see the difference from the Ivan who didn't know he was God, who didn't know he had the keys. Back when I didn't know I had the keys, I didn't trip in public. I was totally fine. Then once I found that I had the keys and I was God, now the anxiety kicks in, and I trip like crazy in public, obviously. Right, so let me stop babbling on. So I'm gonna delve into SkySource again. I'm gonna talk about SkySource before. I'm gonna babble on for a good 20 minutes here, and then I'm gonna start delving into the topic. And I'm also gonna talk about why self-publishing is better than traditional publishing. How's all you inspiring authors? I'm telling you right now, don't take the traditional publishing route path. The novel that you wrote, the traditional publishing houses can change your novels. Your hard work, they can change it. At the same time, you first have to find an agent. Obviously, you have to query your agent with a letter or chapter samples, which can take 6 months, even a year. In that time, all that time you're wasting, you can easily just get your book formatted. You know what I'm saying? Get it proofread, promote it on your social media. You can easily release it on Amazon or Lulu. Hence why self-publishing was that. Self-publishing, you don't have to worry about what? You don't have to worry about finding an agent. You don't have to worry about the publishing houses changing your cover, changing your manuscript completely. They want to do a huge revision. They have every right to do a huge revision. You don't have to worry about any of that. You have total control and total freedom over your own work. Right? You might hear the noise upstairs. Right. Right. I'm going to talk about SkySource before I delve into the self-publishing and traditional. I'm going to talk about SkySource. I'm going to keep saying this, okay? So my Last of Us Zane's book, I'm going to sell it as one book. I'm going to sell it as one book, and it'll be the 3 volumes will be contained in the one book. Obviously, so 3 volumes will be contained in the one book, and it'll be what? I just finished going over my second chapter, my capture chapter. All I have left is 3 more chapters, and I'm done volume 2. And I'm moving on to volume 3. Once I finish going over my whole book, I'll be done around the end of the month. I'm officially done. I'm already done my book, but I'm not officially done because I have to go over my book one more time for the typos. But once I go over my book for the typos, I am officially done. I am going over my book, and my book will be available. My book is now available for purchase on Lulu. For Lulu, and all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna enjoy my checks, get beer, get shawarma. I'll watch my video. When I upload this video. After I upload this video, I'm gonna go to the store, get beer, get smokes, get shawarma. Shawarma is amazing. I love shawarma. Obviously, get shawarma, and I'm gonna enjoy the show. Obviously, and I'm gonna wait until the end of October so I'm gonna enjoy my last check for the month of October, my last checks. At the end of October, once I'm ready to make the final announcement, I'm gonna go outside, take a nice walk, because I know all hell's gonna break loose once I make that announcement. Obviously, I'm gonna have to prepare myself mentally, because I'm now facing the gatekeepers, who are the most. I'm now gonna have to fight the most powerful people in the world. Like it's something fucking scary, like the mafia, right? Because they know I have the keys. They know my book is the best fantasy novel written. It's a book that will sell billions. Hence, their true nature is going to show, and hence why once I find out how wicked you are, that is it forever, man. I'm going to cry my eyes out, get this thing over with, get death over with, and once I come out from death, Ivan will be king, Ryuji will be king with him, we'll be living the life. Obviously. And you guys can see future. You already know how top notch my Skysys company will be. You already know how top notch of a 100 window roof that condo me and my wife are gonna own. I'm gonna own a 100 window roof that condo on top of the roof. I'm gonna tell my wife I don't want to buy an existing condo in Vancouver. No, if I see a $50 million condo, I'm not a fan of mansions, and I'm not a fan of buying an existing condo. No, I don't want to buy like a huge mansion where if there's only two if there's only two of us, there's no point of buying a huge building a huge mansion. I can easily build a huge mansion if I want to, but I'm not a fan. I'm not going to waste money and build a huge mansion if it's only me and my wife. No, I'd rather have a penthouse or a condo. A penthouse is pretty much a big condo, a bigger condo. I want to own a condo. If it's only two of you, it's common sense. You build a condo, and I prefer to live in a condo than live in a big mansion. There's no point of living in a big mansion if it's just you and your wife, Hence why I want to build a condo, a big condo, like a penthouse. Penthouse is like pretty much a big condo, pretty much, right? Penthouse is not a house; it's more like a big condo. So I want to own like a big condo on top of the roof. Rooftop condo is unheard of. Go watch the movie Blade to get an idea of what I'm talking about for a rooftop condo. There's something top notch. Right, look at something top notch from my rooftop condo. Obviously, look at something unheard of. And those actors are going to get to experience my rooftop condo, my luxury office. They get the part. Only the main ones get to party at my condo because they're my stars, obviously. Whereas the minor ones don't get to party at my condo because they're not the minor ones are not my stars. Like they're your co-stars, but minor characters are not really what. Minor characters are not as important compared to the major characters, supporting characters in your movie. So only the major characters who are going to be my Master of Zane's movie, they get to party up in my condo. Obviously, my nice luxury, me and my wife's nice luxurious condo. Again, me and my wife are going to have to talk it over what style we want. I'm going to tell Vijay, look, I've shown you many pictures in my YouTube videos. What design are you interested in? I'm interested in that glass window look. I like that look. You know those that glass window look I showed you? I want my condo to be something like that. I want it to be futuristic, but not too futuristic. Obviously. And that picture that I showed you in my Phase 6 now, I want my garage to be something like that. A nice like high end. I'm gonna put a good, I don't know, like 10 million towards my like super advanced garage. My garage will be super advanced. Obviously, right? You hear the noise. And I'm also gonna have a luxury terrace outside. Luxury terrace. I'm also gonna have my own indoor pool. I personally want to. Me and my wife don't have to have a pool. We can just have a jacuzzi, and that's enough. But I always want to own my own indoor pool. Hence why I want to build an indoor pool. A super advanced luxury indoor pool. I've shown you examples of what I'm talking about. A nice indoor pool. And I'll have the jacuzzi in the pool room. And that's me and my wife can go in jacuzzi. We can get high. There's a good chance me and my wife are going to get high a lot. We'll get like edibles and get high. I'm not going to get higher with the actors because I'm going to trip like crazy. Because of the keys, it makes me trip like crazy. So for the actors, I'll just get drunk with them. But I'm going to get high with my wife quite a lot probably. Like when Zanus gets released, I'm going to get edibles. I'm gonna eat. Me and my wife are gonna eat the edible, and we're gonna watch Zanus. Last was Zanus. Air Test Dome. So listening top notch. Watching an Eyes movie when you're high for the first time is amazing. I'm gonna order food. I'll order like Wendy's, and like watch Last of Us Zanus, something like that. This is gonna be top notch. You know, the actors gonna get the experience, and then, hence why these actors gonna bear because Skysys is just such a top notch company, man. You have the luxury, $70 million luxury jet. They're flown in on that. Obviously, they get flown in a $70 million luxury jet. You hear the noise upstairs. Yeah. $70 million luxury jet. They get a limo driver takes them to my office. They get to experience a luxury office. Don't forget the doc team gets to film them in their hometown and film them in the jet when they're flying to my office. I also want the doc team filming them when they're flying on the jet. You don't have to do that, but I'll have the doc team film them when they arrive to Vancouver in the jet, right? And the limo driver takes my office. I want the doc team filming that too. I'm gonna tell the doc team, look, you guys are professionals. You know how to make an amazing documentary. I'm gonna tell them, make sure you film some of these scenes that I want you to film. Like I want them filming all the signings for the actors. They don't have to film the signings for the crewmen. No, just fill the signings for the main actors, the main actors only. Film the main actors in their hometown. You don't have to film the minor actors. Just film the main actors in the hometown. And you film. You hear the noise upstairs. There's people upstairs, and you film the what? And you film you film me, my wife, the 17 at our house the first year, as well as the second year too. Also, you film the actors training, and you film the crewmen during pre-production. You film the crewmen during pre-production, and I want them filming the people overseeing the actors the second year. For the sign-ups, I want them filming the people overseeing the. I'll fly a flew cameraman to Switzerland. They're going to film the people overseeing the extras. The second year when they do the sign-ups, I want them filming that. That's the only crewman they're going to film the second year. And they're going to film the pre-production the third year. What's going on in Switzerland? They're going to film all that obviously, as well as production as well as post-production. Listen to that. Hence why these actors are going to beg, because Sky is a top notch company. Again, you guys can see the future. I have the keys. You guys can see the future. You know how top notch my company will be, and you guys, my company is so top notch that when you guys won't know how top notch my company is until you see the documentary. Once the documentary films me and my wife working in the office, you see our nice luxurious office. You see our nice luxury jet. The actors are getting spoiled for a luxury jet. The limo driver, the third furniture gas card. Me and my wife's nice $100 million condo, the 17's nice house. You're gonna be like, holy shit, Scotch is a top notch company. You see production, you see all the unheard of technology for going towards my movie. You're like, oh my god. Ivan's movie is what? Ivan's movie is unheard of. It's better quality than all these movies, obviously, right? That's all top notch. My Sky Source company will be, man. Right? That's how top notch Sky Source will be, man. And hence why these actors are going to beg. And I'm going to keep saying this. Amazon gets a flat 40%, and Sky Source gets a flat 60%. If Amazon's greedy, I'm going to say, look, man, I'm not doing business with you. Right? If you want to be greedy and you want to take 50% of my royalties when you're not worth it, I'll just release my movies online. I'll make more money off of releasing online anyways. As for online, I'll make a good, 90% royalties. There's a small fee I have to pay to download my file onto my website, but I'll be taking home 90% of the royalties if I release my movie online. So I can tell Amazon, look, either you accept the deal, you get flat 40%, no hidden fees, you don't charge me for any of the payments like PayPal's doing for my book sales. You don't charge me for any of the payments, and Sky just gets 60%. You don't get any more than 40%. I don't get any more than 60%. That's my final offer. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's no room for bargaining. If you don't want to make your bill, if you don't want to take my deal and reap the benefits from the billions, I can just release my movie online, and you're missing out on the billions. Hence why Amazon will obviously agree to the deal. And there's a good chance me and Jeff Bezos might even become good business friends. Good chance I might have a beer with him. Well, he lives in America, and I live in Canada, but there's a good chance you might butt heads and even what? And even have a beer. So, who knows? Maybe he might even invite me over to some of his parties. You never know. Because I invited him over to my luxury party, there's a good chance if he has a big event party, he might even invite me and my wife over to the party. Perhaps. Maybe not, I don't know, but there's a good chance we might even become good business friends. If I end up partying with Amazon, there's a good chance we might become good business friends. Which I most likely will, as Amazon will agree to the 40%. Because 40% of what they're making for Skysys is more than 50% of what they're making for any other company. Hence why Amazon will definitely agree to the deal. I told you, if they don't agree to the deal, I'll just release a movie on. I'm like, look, man, if you want to be greedy and you don't agree to 40%, I'll just release my movie online, and you're missing out on all the billions. Hence, I have nothing to lose, pretty much, right? Yeah, I can easily release my movies online. I'll make more money, but the problem with online is less professional. You won't get the 4K Blu-ray effect, and my movie won't come in posters. I need a distributor to distribute my posters. Yeah, I can easily build warehouses all around the world, but that will cost me billions of dollars to do that. So the 40% that Amazon's taking is pretty much the 40% I would have to pay. For me to build warehouses worldwide would cost me $2 billion. $1.5, $2 billion to build hundreds of warehouses around the world just to ship posters. I can easily build my own warehouses all around the world and distribute my own movies, my own 4K Blu-ray movies and posters, but you're just wasting money, as that will cost me billions of dollars. It cost me $2 billion to build hundreds of warehouses around the world. I don't know. To build 500, 1,000 warehouses, 2,000 warehouses around the world will cost me billions. which is a waste of money. Instead of wasting $2 billion, you rather partner with an existing company that already has what that already has that already has what hundreds to thousands of warehouses around the world, and you just give them 40%, and then you take 60%. That way, what? That way, so either I partner with Amazon. If Amazon's greedy, I just release my movies online. It's cheaper because if you release movies online, you don't have to worry about distribution. You just download your file onto your website, and you have a Chromecast app. It'll be HD. It won't be 4K Blu-ray, and people can just people pay I don't know $40 to watch the movie, and they watch the movie on your website. But I told you it's less professional, as I prefer to have my movie come with posters and have it come in a 4K Blu-ray box set for Zana. It's just top notch. And for organization movie, you have 4K Blu-ray. So you're looking at something top notch, obviously. You might hear some noise upstairs. It might be my stepmother. She's singing. Okay. Yeah, you might hear some noise upstairs. She's singing. I'm saying. Yeah. So that's pretty much what. Yeah. Yeah. So that pretty much what sums up. I'm talking more for Sky Source, obviously. And that's why my company will be the top notch. But again, you guys can see the future. You know how top notch my Sky Source company will be. You know how top. I don't know. In a couple of years from now, I'm gonna be what? I'm gonna be planning Sky Source with George Lucas, obviously. Hire George Lucas, fly him to Vancouver. I'll have him pay for his own flights. I'll pay for his hotel. And me and George Lucas and my wife are going to be planning Sky Source. Looking top notch. Looking at a top notch logo like Paramount. I want my logo to be something like Paramount. A nice like Sky Source logo like Paramount. You guys can see the future. You know how top notch my company will be. You know how top notch will be, obviously. Because I have the keys, you can see the future, obviously. You know how top notch my company will be. You're looking at the best film entertainment brand in the entertainment business. Bigger than all those big Hollywood companies. Bigger than Hollywood. Bigger than Disney. Bigger than Paramount. Bigger than what? Bigger than Paramount. Bigger than Warner Bros. Bigger than Universal. Bigger than Lionsgate. Bigger than all those companies. Sony companies, Pictures, bigger than all those companies. Bigger in quality. Those companies are bigger than my company's scale because they're putting out like I don't know 4, 5, 6 movies a year, obviously. But one of my movies is almost the amount of movie they put into all their movies. As I'm making Zane's for $1 billion, $970 million. And you're looking at something top notch. I'm making Zane's for $970 million, which is almost $1 billion. Looking at unheard of technology. Organization movie I'm making for almost $700 million. Before I said $600 million, but no. If I want to pay these actors, these big actors, big bonuses, I have to pour money into the movie. So I'll put probably good, I don't know, 670, 680 towards this organization movie around there. So 600 million range, 650 million range, that's going to be around my average for all my other movies. Whereas I'm never going to go over like 80. I'm never going to go over like 680 million around there for all my other movies. It's going to be around that 680 million lower. So organization movie I can make for 680 million. I can make for 680 million around there, 670 million around there. They're unique. I'll make for I don't know 175, 200 million around there to pay to create more room to pay your actors. You can put more money into. Make They're Unique for 200 million, 175 million, 200 million, and then the Hidden Vampire movie I'll make for probably 550, 600 million or something like that. So all my movies are going to be around that I don't know 200 million to like 680 million range for all my other movies. I'm never going to go over that for Zane's because it's a unique story. You hear the noise. For Zanus, because it's a unique story and you have to put unheard amount of money into it, Zanus is the exception where I make the movie for almost $1 billion. Whereas all my other movies, it's all going to be under that 680 million range from all my other movies. Obviously, right? I'm going to shut this car off here and I'll babble on for a good, I don't know, 5 more minutes and I'll start talking about the topic. You hear the noise again. My stepmother's yelling. Yeah. Yeah. So that pretty much what? Yeah. Is that pretty? Yeah. So that's how much money I'm willing to put into all my movies. And that's why my movies are looking at better quality movies in Hollywood. Even They're Unique, you're looking at something unheard of. As no romance movie has been made. No romance movie has been made for 200 million. Titanic, I believe, was made for like 100 million or something like that. Titanic, I believe, was made for 200 million. So imagine something on the level of Titanic, for the They're Unique. 200 million is a lot of money towards a romance movie, as most romance movies are only made for like 10, 20, 30 million dollars. Twilight, the first movie, was made. Twilight, the first movie, was only made for like. Twilight, the first movie, was only made for like what? It was only made for like $22 million, and you got an amazing movie like that. Well, imagine putting 175 million, 200 million towards the movie. It looks to me top notch. Hence why you can argue, even though Last of Us Aliens will be the best, my best movies, I guarantee you all the women are gonna like They're Unique the best. Because women are into romance movies like crazy. And They're Unique, you're looking at an amazing romance story, man. You're looking at the best romance story ever told. Something even better than Twilight. Something you're looking at movies on the level of Twilight and Titanic. I'm not gonna say it'll be better than Titanic, because Titanic is a hard movie to top, a hard love story to top. But They're Unique will be almost as good as Titanic, or perhaps even better. It just depends on what happens, obviously. But They're Unique has potential to even be better than Titanic and Twilight. I think it'll be better than Twilight, but Titanic is it's hard to top a romance movie like that. But They're Unique has potential to even be better than Twilight, because I'm putting a lot of money into the movie and I'm acting it, obviously. Me and my wife are acting it, and you're looking at an amazing romance story. But in my opinion, Last of Us Aliens will be the best story, best movie, as no movie can top that story. I'm gonna shut my count off here.